face came off.
You didn't want to make things perfect. You just hated things the way they are.
Marvel might be hitting big this time with Guardians of the Galaxy 4. Zoe Saldana, who played Gamora in April 2024, mentioned that it would be a big loss for Marvel if they didn't find a way to bring the Guardians back. One issue is that James Gunn, the creative mind behind the trilogy, is now co-head of DC Studios and busy with new projects like the upcoming Superman movie. But that being said, there are lots of other great directors in talks. And Gunn is also open to someone else directing a new Guardians movie. He mentioned that it could be amazing as long as the new director brings their own style and doesn't just copy his. If Guardians Volume 4 does happen, what could we expect? Here's what we know so far about the chances of a fourth movie and how Volume 3's ending sets it up. Also, stick around to find out how Adam Warlock might help set up a new villain for the Guardians. But first of all, will there be a Guardians 4? Right now it seems that the Guardians will return for a fourth movie, but maybe not in their current form, but nothing set in stone. James Gunn has mentioned that he always planned for the films to be a trilogy. At the European premiere, he said, "I was planning on it being 3 films, and I was always planning on this story really being the story of Rocket. To fulfill that story, I needed to go back to where he started." He added, "To get to the end of the story, we needed to go back to the beginning, and that's what we did." However, the end of the story might just refer to this specific group of Guardians. On the Hero Nation podcast in January 2022, Gunn mentioned that the third movie would be the last time people will see this team of Guardians. In the comics, the Guardians have had a revolving door of team members, so a fourth movie could bring in a whole new crew. The third movie even gives us a sneak peek at a fresh squad we might see more of in the MCU. After Peter Quill heads back to Earth, probably to catch up on all the TV he missed, and Mantis goes off on her own adventure, hopefully avoiding more weird tentacle monsters, Rocket takes over as the new leader of the Guardians. Meanwhile, Nebula and Drax stay on Nowhere to run the city, because who wouldn't want those two in charge? In the mid-credit scene, we get a glimpse of Rocket's new team, featuring Kraglin, Cosmo, Groot, Adam Warlock, and Phyla, likely the MCU's version of Phyla Vell. It's a strong team, though it's up in the air if they could carry their own movie. Maybe they need a good marketing team. Chances are, this new Guardians lineup will pop up in the big Avengers double feature wrapping up the multiverse saga, instead of getting their own standalone flick. But who knows, maybe Phase 7 will be their time to shine and hopefully avoid more dance-offs. With that, let us talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy 4 cast and the big question, will Star-Lord return for Guardians 4? Despite some fan fears, Volume 3 concluded without any of our beloved Guardians meeting their end. However, there's a bit of a bummer. A couple of major cast members have hinted they won't be returning even if there's a fourth movie in the MCU. What we know for sure is that Chris Pratt will return as Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. The post-credit scene even ends with a title card, "The legendary Star-Lord will return." This surprised Karen Gillan, who mentioned in March 2024 that she didn't recall seeing that bit in the script, or maybe she just forgot. With the new team set up, we could see Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Sean Gunn as Kraglin, Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, and Vin Diesel as Groot again. Karen Gillan might return as Nebula, although she's unsure. On her last day of filming, she posted on Instagram, "I don't know if Nebula will return beyond this. It's possible that this is her final chapter. And if that's the case, then I just want to say thank you to James Gunn for giving me such an interesting, complex, and fascinating character to play." Mantis went off on her own adventure at the end of Volume 3, but we're hoping Pom Klementieff returns in that role. We'd even give her a Mantis solo movie if it were up to us. However, Klementieff told The Hollywood Reporter that she'd find it tough to play Mantis with anyone other than James Gunn writing her lines, saying, "I can't imagine playing Mantis with someone else writing the words." It looks like Chukwudi Iwuji's High Evolutionary was killed off in the third movie, but Gunn later confirmed that the villain is actually imprisoned on Nowhere, rescued by Drax before his ship blew up. Speaking of villains, Adam Warlock helped set up a Guardians of the Galaxy 4 villain. Adam Warlock sets the stage with his introduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Guardians Volume 3. The MCU first teased this powerful cosmic character back in 2017 during the post-credit scenes of Guardians Volume 2. Adam Warlock's long-awaited debut has him starting off as an adversary to the main team. However, casting Will Poulter in the role and considering the character's significant presence in the comics, it's clear he'll have an important role beyond Guardians 3. Adam Warlock is expected to become a central figure in the cosmic side of the MCU as the multiverse saga and future stories unfold. This could include a major role in Guardians 4, assuming the franchise continues. Although a fourth movie hasn't been announced yet, it's certainly possible if Guardians 3 becomes a huge success and Marvel successfully introduces a new Guardians team in the coming years. Adam Warlock is a strong candidate for the new lineup, and his introduction could be key in setting up the next big villain for Guardians 4. Adam Warlock's introduction in Guardians 3 brings the MCU closer to featuring the Universal Church of Truth. This fanatical and religious alien empire includes various species, all devoted to worshipping Magus, the evil half of Adam Warlock. The Universal Church of Truth travels the galaxy, offering peace through their faith and purifying any planets that resist their takeover. Their main goal is to harness power through faith generators and bring Magus to life. While Adam Warlock's role in Guardians 3 likely won't directly mention Magus or the Universal Church of Truth, these elements should become part of his story moving forward. Since his MCU debut happens after Thanos' death and the destruction of the Infinity Stones, Marvel will need to delve more into this part of his comic history. Featuring the Universal Church of Truth as the villain in Guardians 4 would be a natural progression. The Universal Church of Truth would make a compelling villain for Guardians 4, offering the franchise a chance to refocus around Adam Warlock for the next trilogy. While it might feel familiar to those who played the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, where the Church was the main villain, Marvel Studios can add its own unique twist. Guardians 4 could introduce the Church as a powerful religious empire that rose to prominence after Thanos' snap and during the Guardians' absence, saving the reveal for general audiences that the Church worships Adam Warlock's evil half Magus. This approach allows the MCU to delay the full reveal of Magus, giving them time to develop Adam Warlock's character in Guardians 4. As Warlock will be a secondary character in Guardians 3, this next installment can flesh out his story more deeply. Introducing the Universal Church of Truth as the villain sets the stage for an epic conflict and paves the way for Magus to take center stage in a future installment. Well, that's it for today. What do you think will be the biggest challenge for the new Guardians team in Guardians 4? Facing off against the Universal Church of Truth, or adapting to their new roles without some of the original members? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.